fellow modelers, Steve here. Tonight's video is a rundown of kits, accessories, going-ons about the weekend at Telford, which I'm recording last night, so I've just got back about the last couple of hours off the train. And it's been a great weekend, fantastic. Went down my club, don't know whether anybody was seen it, but it was IPMS Tyneside. I think we were in hall, it was either hall 1 or 2. Hall 1 or 2, I think it was 2H or 2F, I'm not sure. There was that many things that were going on that I couldn't figure out where the hell it was. I know it was, if you can find out where Gary of Making Models again was with his Great British Make Off, we were about 2 rows behind there, I think. So if anybody went past and seen any of the work, great. Now I met Chris and Alex there. Hi there Chris and Alex, good to see you again. I met Gary when we were setting it up on the Friday, and I didn't go around to see him again. I was round knocking about all over the place, and I would look there but he wasn't there. And I did hope to meet Model Art 633. Hi there Mike. No, I asked at your stand, which was 580 models, if you were about, and there was a lad that says, oh you are, but you're about making last minute purchases somewhere. Now Chris and Alex met you because they told us, and I didn't see Chance of North Wales or Mark O'Neill, and I met a lad called Jim Chandler who I had difficulty recognised, but he knew me, but we had a bit of a natter on, so it was okay. Met a few people there, went down to the club obviously. I was there the whole Friday, whole Saturday and whole Sunday, and it was really great. Bought a lot of kits and a lot of accessories. I could have bought more, but I ran out of money. So we'll start off with the accessories that I bought. First off, I bought this book on the USS Arizona. I have got a model of the Arizona somewhere, but I like naval ships, and that'll be a good read. Goes from when it's built to when it meets its end on the attack on Pearl Harbor, and that'll be a good read. That I like them Squadron at Seas. I've got a few of the others, and that was about, I think it was 15 quid, which was alright for its time. Paints, no, I wanted a couple of paints, but I've just got some. I wanted a Desert Yellow XF59, an Olive Drab, which is XF62. Now I have been using, just for wheels and interiors, the ordinary Humbrol 33 colour, but for some reason now I've heard this on, it's either Facebook or YouTube, and it's happened to them as well. You paint it and it goes gloss for some reason. Maybe it's a bad batch that most of us have got different around the country or something. Went and bought another one, it's okay. So I got some XF1 which is flat black, so hopefully that'll give it the matte finish, and I'll toss that out because it's about as much use as a chocolate fire guard. You get you put a flat coat on, you get a gloss, and it doesn't look really good on tyres. So that's the paints I got, and I got this which is for decals to get rid of the flash and help them set a bit more. I've been using Humbrol Decal Fix, so I've thought to try something different. Now Warren Blanche, hi there Warren, he uses this. Now I was talking to Chris and Alex, and they reckon that Microsoft Cell and Soft, Microsoft Set and Sol, there's 2 of them, they're the best, but I couldn't see any of them, so I've got that and I'll give that a try, see if that's any better. Some little tools, well I've got some of that. Plastic putty with the nozzle, because I got one of them when I was up at Glasgow about 3 weeks ago, and it is absolutely fantastic. I highly recommend it. Got a small handle there, because when I was at Glasgow I bought a replacement saw there but obviously it hasn't got a handle on, so I'll use that. I was going to make one myself, but I seen them and it was only 70p, so that's okay. Bought a set of cutters, which is thin ones. Tamiya tape, you can't go wrong with that, you always need it. And this, which is a scribing tool, which I might give a try of scribing, but it's okay for doing things when you've sanded it down, you want to get the grooves back in. As far as scribing, sanding like raised panel lines and scribing the grooves in again, it's something that I might try in the future. It's not something I'm going to get used to. Honestly, I might try it on different ones and see how it goes. But that's just for the grooves what you've sanded, because I've been using just a file with a pointy thing and you can't get the right effect. So I hope that'll work. Now I got this, which I bought a one off eBay, which is a regulator, and it was absolute rubbish. I don't know where it was from, but I seen them and I asked the guy, and I've checked it, and what to do with the other one is you could drop it on the floor and they would fall up, separate. This one seems to be okay. So I've got some spare nozzles. I've got one here and one in an airbrush that I got. So I've got two airbrushes now, and there's two of them there, so they'll be okay. It's just roughly the same one as what I've got there. And what else? Some resin crates that resemble wooden crates. Therefore, the Dakota group building I'm doing. Cargo. And this one was a bargain. I think it was a quid in the bargain bin. Just two bases really. They'll always come in handy. Right, kits. Now, I bought quite a load of these. Basically, some of them are brand new, but some of them were really old, and you can only make the best of them really. Couple of P40 kits, same make. That one was 4 quid, and that one, it did have 36p on, and I asked the guy, I says 36p, he says, are you kidding me? It was 5 quid. So I could do them as a little diorama really, because I've got a few of the P40 kits that would all make it. Something to think of in the future anyway. So that's two. This one, which was a Bedford QLD, I was after a World War II era truck, because I'm hoping to make, maybe when I've finished the Dakota, and maybe it's like next year somewhere, to make a diorama with the truck loading the cargo, the crates on. That's just a secondary thing, that's not to go with the group build. The whole point of the group build is just to get the plane finished. This is something that I thought of doing extra, so I was hunting around for one of them and I found that, and that was 10 quid. A Hawker Hurricane Mark 2C, that was for 5 quid. What make is it? It's it's Hobbycraft Kits. That looks okay. That's, I know these is not the Morgans, but that's the type they used in the desert, with a twin 40mm, it's either 40mm or 20mm cannon. So I could make that in like a desert camouflage. And this one, which is just, it's an Academy, it's a Dassault Bergère Super Étendard naval attack aircraft, another carrier aircraft, and that was 5 quid. And that was the last thing that I bought because I was brassic after that. But that's an interesting kit that. You can either make it in the French or the Argentine model, whichever. And this one, which, well, that was 5 quid, a 1/48 scale Grumman Hellcat, another carrier aircraft. And I did have plus an FW190. I thought, oh, I'm getting a 190 for this. But when I looked in, there was nothing in. It was just the Hellcat, but I wasn't bothered. For a 148 scale, for £5, and it's got raised panel lines, but no, it's got. It has got raised panel lines, but I don't care. Then this one is another carrier aircraft, and a Hasegawa F11 F1 Tiger. 1950s carrier aircraft, I think that is. Another something different. Oh, what have I got here? This one, another Matchbox kit, which is a Hawker Hunter. I like the Hunter, it's a good aircraft. Served the RAF well, as well as numerous foreign air forces. I think there was about 400 built altogether. Now, I didn't fancy doing the display team. I just fancy doing the ordinary RAF ground attack, fighter ground attack version. Now I've got a load of other markings that I might put on that's different. It's a Hunter Mark F6 of number 58 Squadron based at Wittering, April 1974. But I've got a range of other markings with the old fighter style, old biplane style markings, different squadrons. I might do it like that. And this is something I made a couple of years ago, and I like the box art, but I like the kit as well. And it's really Nesha. And that was a good kit. That was for I think that was for a 1960s group build. It was one of Frankie Day's ones, I think. But it's a nice, simple kit. Not many parts in it, but went together quite well. So that's alright, that one. And this one, which is just, this was, I forget how much this was. A Commonwealth CA-13 Boomerang, an Australian made fighter. Was the only indigenous Australian fighter produced. Stubby little thing, but did its job. Something different. And this one, a Boeing P-12E Matchbox. Short, simple kit. I remember making one of these when I was a kid. This was, I think it was £4. But you can lay around with Matchbox. Right, I've got 4 more kits here. And that one is a Dornier 17. And that was priced at 12, but I got it for 10. See, it's the old type FX box. Now, what I was really thinking of was, because I'm signed up to Model Art 633 Mike's Spanish Civil War group build, I signed it up to it and I ordered something off the eBay before I went to Telford, thinking, oh, there'll not be anything at Telford. So I ordered something off eBay. I went to Telford and there must have been about 10 or 11 kits that would have fitted the bill, and I probably would have paid less for them, but that's why I think, there's going to be nothing regarding the Spanish Civil War, but there was Heinkel 126s, which is what I've ordered. Heinkel 51s, I think it was a Fiat CR42, which I wanted, but I should have bought at the time, but I went back about half an hour later and it had gone. And there's another carrier aircraft, a Hawk Siddeley Buccaneer. And you've got 3 versions here. You've got the RAF, which is I think that's the S2D. The Royal Navy version, which is the S2B, and the South African version, which is the S50, the S Mark 50. And I'll do mine, obviously, in the Royal Navy colours. It's I think it's 809 Naval Air Squadron, based on HMS Ark Royal in the 70s. Because I've already got a kit that's got the desert Desert Storm markings, a Revel one somewhere. But that was 10 quid as well, not bad. And this one, which I wanted to get years ago when it first came out, but I knew that it had been re-released, and it's a Crusader Mark III tank. I'm doing mine obviously when I build it in that one, which is well, they're both desert, but that one's El Alamein. That one is in Tunisia somewhere. I hope I've got them at the right angle. This one, the firm, or the stand I bought this at, there was two of them. One of them was priced at 25. It was like that way, and then the other one was priced that way, and it had 22 on. Oh, I'll have that. But when I picked it out, it had 25 on there, so I thought, ah. So when I went to the guy to buy it, he says, oh, 22, and he says, alright, so I got it 3 quid cheaper. He probably would have knocked it off anyway, but it doesn't matter. And this is quite a good kit. I don't know if it's a retooled one or just a reboxed one, but that should be good. And the most expensive kit I bought, which was for 45, which was that. A 1/24th scale Focke-Wulf FW190A5 or the A6. Now I did see a Messerschmitt 109 1/24th scale, and I thought I'll get that because I built one of them when I was a kid. So I'll come back for that. But then I think this was in Hall 3 where the overseas section was. And I seen that, and that was 45. I thought, oh, I like that better. So I got this instead. So that's 3 1/24th scale kits I've got. So that's me purchases from Telford. And it was a nice hotel that I stopped in, and it was only 10 or 15 minutes walk from the centre, so it was great. And I got invited to the overseas section, like a sort of a feast roundabout. Was about 11:30 on the Remembrance Day, because there was 3 Irish lads that were in there from IPMS Ireland. It was a lads called Danny, Alan and Lindsay. I think it was Lindsay or Lindy, one of the two, and they were fantastic. They're great lads, and I was invited there. I had a little sip of Irish whiskey, which I'm not really a spirit drinker, but it went straight to my head. I think, oh, I'm gonna have to calm down here, like. And it was there was Dutch there, French, Germans, Italian, and they bought all sorts of different foods in. But it was a good time there. Good bunch of lads there. So that's my trip to Telford. So like I say, I'm taping this yesterday because it'll take ages to download. And I haven't built any models for about 4 days. I'm having shakes here. So that's my video for me trip to Telford for 2015, and I've took one hell of a lot of photos, so I might put them into a slideshow and download them as well, because I actually seen the competition room this time, and there were some brilliant things there. Fantastic. I couldn't figure out what was the best. There was a Type 45 destroyer there with the wave effect as though it's turning, and they've got all there was 2 little helicopters on stands, and there was also a one there of the Wolfman out of the American Werewolf in London, which me and my wife watched. I think it was a couple of days before I went to Telford, when he changes into the werewolf, and that was fantastic. The detail on the face and the hair on his body as his feet's lengthening, fantastic. And there was what else stood out? There was obviously there was a lot of sci-fi figures, with this being the release of Star Wars 7, the Millennium Falcon, stormtroopers, things like that. but there was few. I'd have to look at the photos here to find out what they are. But there was a lot of excellent models there, fantastic. So I'll get that unloaded. Obviously this will be Tuesday, and I'll do a video slideshow of all the photos when I get them developed, and then I'll be back to modelling. And I'll get started on finishing off the kits I've got and doing my own group build. I'm a bit behind now, but nice trip to Telford, great fun. So I'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, ta-ra.